Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Adonai Melech, Adonai Malach, Adonai Le'olam Va'ed.
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 Ana Adonai Hoshi'ana, Ana Adonai Hoshi'ana.
Ana Adonai Hoshi'ana, Ana Adonai Hoshi'ana.
Ana Adonai Aslichana, Ana Adonai Aslichana.
Ana Adonai Aslichana, Ana Adonai Aslichana.
Shalom, this is David Wilder, back with our video blog. Today I'm walking as I talk. We're in a very, very special location. We're in a city called Sussiya. As you can see, it's a rather old city. You can see the stones of the walls here. Here we even have what is called a burial cave right inside here. You can see it. You can see the walls leading all the way in the distance to that red roof building that we're walking towards the Beit Knesset, the shul, the synagogue. It's really amazing to be here. It's amazing to walk around here. That shul, that synagogue in the distance, was used here about 1500 years ago. Okay, so if this is the year 2000, we're talking about the year 500, the Common Era, as it's called. This was a rather large city, as you can see. Very strong city. Not without its problems, not without its enemies, but still a very, very special place. It's thought that this may have been a city of Kohanim, of priests, and if not, then a very holy people. Because people lived here, any of the people that lived here lived in caves. And at the entrance to each cave is a pit, a water pit, in Hebrew called a mikveh. And that where the people could purify themselves every single day. This was, of course, very important for the Kohanim, for the priestly class, but also for many other people that tried to live in as much purity as they possibly could. And you can see here, as we walk through the city, the wonders going back at least 1500 years ago. The synagogue today, which we'll go up to in a minute, in the distance you can see people there that are studying. Many people come here to sightsee. People come here for educational reasons, to learn, to study the heritage, the history of the Jewish people. Sussiya is located about 25 minutes south of Hebron. I guess that's about how long it took me to reach here today, in the area called the Southern Hebron Hills, as it would be. It's not far from Beersheba. I guess if we kept going down about another half hour, 45 minutes south, we would reach Beersheba. And so we're talking about almost halfway between Hebron and Beersheba, which was, of course, Beersheba, the capital of the southern part of Israel. And today there was a very special event here. Today we had here a Brit Milah, the ritual of circumcision, not of one child, but of two children. These two children, two boys, sons of a Hebron family. My friend and colleague Noam Arnon's daughter, Amiyah, several years ago married the son of another friend and colleague, Ronen, and Anat Cohen were all very, very active in Hebron. And Amiyah and Eliashiv Cohen had, up until last week, 3 children. But last week, Amiyah gave birth to twin boys. Today they had the Brit, and they decided to have the Brit here, very close to where they live, in Sussiya. And so at this ancient shul, at this ancient synagogue, gathered, I don't know, a lot of people here, came from all over the place to welcome these 2 children into the covenant of Abraham here in a 1,500-year-old synagogue. It's a very, very special event, as you can see. However, this site is in tremendous jeopardy, because this is one of those areas that the state of Israel is talking about annexing to the so-called Palestinian state. Here we can hear, up in the background, we can hear an army helicopter. I don't know if you can see it on the film. The light glaring makes it difficult for me to see into the screen. However, very soon it's possible, God forbid, that there won't be Israeli planes or helicopters here. Rather, there will be Palestinian helicopters here. Very difficult to believe or to fathom, but that's something that that could theoretically happen if what the United States is today pushing actually occurs. Okay, if there is actually a Palestinian state formed, because this, right where we are right now, would almost undoubtedly be annexed not to the state of Israel, but to our enemies, to the Palestinian state. What a horrible thought. What a terrible thought. But this is something that might happen. How would it be possible that this synagogue, 1,500 years old, where Jews prayed not only then but today, after the ceremony today, we prayed our afternoon mincha prayers here. Jews have been praying here for over 1,500 years, and yet the site is in jeopardy because they say that it is Palestinian here. This is one of those caves that I told you about. Truth is, I don't see the mikvah at the cave, at the beginning of the cave here. However, I remember once being told that all of the caves have, maybe this was a different cave. I'm not familiar with all of the different areas here, but one can see this is a huge cavern where obviously very, very long ago people actually lived. You can see it here in Sussiya. If you come in here during the holidays, there are tour guides that will be able to explain to you everything that you see here. Okay? Which is something that unfortunately I'm not very well versed in. But just to give you a little peek so that you can see for yourselves the beautiful caves of Sussiya. This cave and the synagogue and all of the mikvahs, this beautiful Jewish city that is a link to our past, is part of our essence, part of our being. This site is in jeopardy. This site is in danger of being chopped off of the land of Israel, or the state of Israel. It will always be part of the land of Israel. But it's in danger of being abandoned. And the Jews that are able to visit here today, should God forbid that happen, will no longer be able to visit this site. Now we're going to go in to the synagogue. This is where the Brit was a little while ago. I hope that I've been able to fit some of the pictures of that into this film itself. But we're going up the stairs just as Jews did 1,500 years ago, to visit, to see this beautiful synagogue where we have an amazing find here. Here we have on the floor a tremendous mosaic, a huge mosaic floor, which you can see here in front of you. Very, very beautiful. Huge synagogue made of stone. And as you can see here, we're not the only visitors that are here. There are others that are here also, learning about their past, learning about where we came from, about where the Jewish people lived and were part of so many hundreds and thousands of years ago. And from up here we can look down. We can see the synagogue. You can hear people in the background. We'll just be quiet for a minute.
Berlin haben sie 7. Deshalb ist es auch besser.
Let's take a little walk around. We can look over Sussiya. You can see this beautiful city right here in front of us. Beautiful city of Sussiya. With this beautiful synagogue here. This synagogue in danger of being abandoned to our enemies. God forbid that that should happen. I'm standing here out over the wall looking down on the huge mosaic floor beneath us that you can see here. It's so very majestic. It's so very, very beautiful. How can we just chop this off of our heritage? How can we just leave it? How can we abandon it? How can we say this is not part of our history, of our heritage, of our people? So today, two children came into the covenant of Abraham, became officially part of the Jewish people. Those two little boys were named by Eliashiv and Miriam Kohen. They were named Yosef and Binyamin. Of course, Joseph, and Binyamin, Benjamin, the two sons of Jacob and Rachel, Yaakov, and Rachel. And here they received their names. It says that a person's name is part of his essence. Those two men, Joseph and Benjamin, Yosef and Benjamin, the sons of Rachel, Imenu, so much a part of our history, of our past, of our heritage, of our essence. It's so very beautiful that they were privileged to receive their names and to enter in the covenant here at this beautiful ancient shul. When you come to visit in Israel, of course it's important to come to Hebron. It's important to visit in the Shomron. It's important to visit all over. It's also very important to visit here. To come to Sussiya. It's only a half hour south of Hebron. And see for yourself the beautiful, majestic city of Sussiya, the beautiful synagogue, the beautiful mosaic floor. See and feel not only the past, but see the present. See the people that are living here today, that are trying to rebuild and remake, resettle what is so much a part of our people here in Sussiya. This is David Wilder, a Hebron video blog. Today is Thursday, the 25th day of October. Today is we're in the month of Mar Cheshvan. Shalom, shalom.